something for everyone this festive season. From blockbuster movies, live sports, best kiddies content, premium Bollywood, and novella series, and of course, exclusive shows like the Hello Mr. Right.
To enjoy this offer, recharge between November 15th to January 15th at any StarTimes office or dealer outlets. The more the recharge, the more the magic. Terms and conditions apply. StarTimes. Enjoy digital life.
Joining us on Tax File. I am your host, Lore Bala Hassan, and we've got a truly engaging episode for you today. We'll kick things off with a quick update on the latest tax news, keeping you in the loop with what's happening around you. Up next is our Did You Know segment, where we uncover interesting tax facts that could make a real-life difference in your everyday decisions. Then we take it to the streets with our Vox Pop, hearing directly from the public on important tax conversations. We'll dig deeper into those views in the knowledge zone, giving you clearer explanations and helpful contexts. Our Professional Insight segment brings in tax experts who break down the big issues and help you understand them better. And before we wrap up What's on the Net, highlights your comments, questions and reactions from our online community. There's so much to explore. Let's get right into it. The news. The Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, now renamed Nigeria Revenue Service, NRS, has reaffirmed its commitment to driving Nigeria's economic transformation through the implementation of the National Single Window Project, a landmark initiative designed to streamline trade processes and boost revenue generation. Hussein Ibrahim reports for Tax File.
Speaking on the development, the service executive chairman, Dr. Zach Adedeji, explained that the National Single Window will serve as a unified digital platform for trade facilitation, integrating multiple agencies and stakeholders into one seamless system. He noted that the project goes beyond revenue collection, aiming to reduce bottlenecks, enhance transparency, and improve Nigeria's competitiveness in the global economy. According to him, the initiative reflects the government's broader beyond revenue vision, which prioritizes efficiency, innovation, and sustainable growth. The tax administration boss emphasized that the collaboration with key partners, including customs, port authorities, and private sector players, will be critical to the success of the project. He added that the National Single Window will not only strengthen Nigeria's fiscal resilience, but also create an enabling environment for businesses by cutting costs and improving compliance. Adedeji concluded that the initiative represents a bold step towards modernizing Nigeria's trade and tax administration system, positioning the country for long-term prosperity.
The Presidential Committee on Tax Policy and Fiscal Reforms has assured that Nigeria's new capital gains tax (CGT) framework will make the capital market more competitive and investor-friendly. The committee chairman, Professor Taiwo Oyedele, gave the assurance during an online public lecture organized by the Capital Market Academics of Nigeria, stressing that the reforms is designed to strengthen fiscal policy while encouraging investment growth. Evelyn Shija reports.
Oyedele explained that contrary to negative perceptions, the CGT rate remains one of the lowest compared to companies' income tax and value-added tax. He noted that between 2014 and 2024, CGT collections accounted for less than 1% of CIT and VAT, with CIT amounting to 26 trillion naira, VAT 22 trillion, and CGT 276 billion naira. He added that the reduction of CIT from 30% to 25% will make companies more profitable, leading to higher valuations that will outweigh incremental CGT costs. Highlighting the benefits of the reform, Oyedele said the policy provides exemptions for retail investors, pension funds, real estate investment trusts, and securities lending, while also granting impute VAT credits on assets and overheads to lower business costs. He emphasized that the reform will harmonize earmarked taxes, eliminate withholding tax on bonus shares, and endorse deductions for capital losses. Stakeholders, including the Nigeria Exchange Group and the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, backed the policy, urging investors to support its implementation as a step towards strengthening Nigeria's fiscal resilience.
And the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, now renamed Nigeria Revenue Service, has announced its support for the third edition of the Abuja City Journal ACG National Essay Competition, reaffirming its commitment to education, youth development, and initiatives that promote critical thinking among Nigerian students. Swateku has more.
According to the organizers, the contest attracted over 10,000 entries from across the country, with 25 finalists selected to compete at the grand finale in Abuja. The top 3 winners will receive cash prizes of 5 million, 3 million, and 2 million respectively, aimed at rewarding academic excellence and motivating young Nigerians to sharpen their analytical thinking and writing skills. ACJ's chief executive and publisher, Folusho Silvanus Ojo, described the competition as a platform to champion integrity, discipline, and intellectual excellence, noting that the overwhelming participation reflects the creativity and determination of Nigerians' youth.
We bring you warm greetings from the Executive Chairman of FIRS, Dr. Zak Adedeji, who holds this initiative in very high regard. This year's edition of the National Essay Competition is not just a literary contest. It is a celebration of intellect, courage, critical thinking, and national consciousness.
We should encourage the young ones in school. We should let them know that they are not forgotten. But we can't do that without the support of people. And this year, it was only Dr. Zak Adedeji, FIRS, that came through for us.
I feel very, very happy. I feel excited to win this. But I sincerely appreciate the FIRS for this opportunity for sponsoring this program, and also appreciate the Abuja City Journal for organizing this essay.
Organizers highlighted that beyond the prize money, the competition serves as a national platform for talent discovery, offering finalists opportunities to connect with editors, writers, and mentors who can guide their growth. They describe the event as the most competitive yet, underscoring the growing influence of the program and its expanding relevance across Nigeria's intellectual landscape.
And that's a wrap on the news. Let's join Maroon on the Vox Pop segment.
Hello and welcome to the segment. My name is Mariam Jude Adura, and today we are in Yola, the Adamawa State capital. We will be discussing penalties for failure to register with the Nigeria Revenue Service. Come. Under the new tax law, what are the penalties for not registering with the NRS? Okay, the penalty for not registering your business with Federal Inland Revenue under the new tax law is 50,000 naira for the first month and 25,000 naira for the subsequent months.
The penalty for not registering in a company under FIRS is 50,000 for the first month and 25,000 for the subsequent month of default.
Under the new tax law, what are the penalties for a company's failure to register their business?
Under the new tax law, failure to register for tax is 50,000 for the first month and 25,000 for the subsequent month of default.
Failure to register attracts penalty of 50,000 naira for the first month of default, while 25,000 naira for each and every subsequent month of not being registered until registration is completed.
So there are companies who are exempt from paying taxes. Is this irrespective of their payment of tax, whether they pay tax, whether they're eligible to pay tax or not? Do they need to register?
Even if the company is exempted from paying tax, but it must have to register with the Federal Revenue Service.
Under the new tax law, what is the penalty for companies that do not register?
Okay, under the new tax law, failure to register results in 50,000 naira penalty, followed by 25,000 naira for each subsequent month.
So is this irrespective, this registration, is it irrespective of whether a company is liable to to pay taxes or not?
Yes, you are expected to register regardless once you are a company.
As 2025 ends, Nigeria celebrates you, the taxpayers who kept our nation moving forward. Your dedication built schools, hospitals, roads, and created opportunities for millions. Every naira you contributed strengthened the foundation of progress. Now, we step into 2026 with a new vision. The Federal Inland Revenue Service evolves into the Nigeria Revenue Service, NRS. Stronger, smarter, and more committed to serving you better. This transition marks the future of innovation, transparency, and prosperity. Keep paying your tax. Keep building Nigeria. Together, we rise. Together, we prosper.
Did you know if a taxable person fails to register, the tax law imposes an administrative penalty of 50,000 naira? For more information, please visit www.nrs.gov.ng.
Ashu Abe takes us on the Knowledge Zone.
Hello and welcome to Knowledge Zone, where we dive deeper into interesting conversations had on the streets. I remain your host, Ashu Abe. On today's episode, we'll be talking about the penalty for failure to register under the new tax law starting January 2026. Under the Nigerian Tax Administration Act 2025, every person or entity required to pay tax must register with the appropriate tax authority and obtain a tax identification number. If a taxable person fails to register, the tax law imposes an administrative penalty of 50,000 naira for the first month in which the failure occurs, and 25,000 naira for every subsequent month the non-compliance continues. This monthly penalty continues until registration is completed, making early compliance critical once the law takes effect. In addition to the basic registration penalties, the Act explicitly targets broader compliance risks by penalizing entities that engage unregistered persons. For example, a statutory body or company that awards contracts to unregistered person is liable to a 5 million naira penalty. The intent is to close gaps where unregistered vendors or service providers could indirectly facilitate tax non-compliance. These penalties underscore the importance the law places on timely and complete tax registration from January 2026 and onwards. Over to you, Lore.
And now to our professional insight segments.
As the SC Technical, Special Advisor Technical to the Executive Chairman of FRS, my role involves advising the Executive Chairman of issues that come to his attention in resolving complex taxpayers' matters. For example, there are times that our tax offices had issues with taxpayers, and taxpayers will appeal to the Executive Chairman to say, they want intervention of the Executive Chairman in resolving the matters. So the matters will be referred to my office, then I will review the issues, call the office, get the files, then check what are the issues, interview the tax officers, then recommend to the Executive Chairman to approve or decline the taxpayer's request. Now, when taxpayers appeal to the Executive Chairman to say they want a waiver or they want intervention, the number of factors that guide my decisions or my recommendation to the Executive Chairman is to number one, liaise with the other departments like tax policy department or revenue accounting or any other related departments to ask for their opinion. And when we receive those opinions, then we review the tax laws, then discuss with the tax office. If it's fair enough, then I recommend to the Executive Chairman. Well, number one, you look at the kind of business the taxpayer is doing. Just like the Executive Chairman used to say that we are not taxing the seed, we are taxing the fruit. So we look at the business. If the business is struggling, because it's better for the business to survive, not the business to die, so that you can have more fruit to tax in the future. So we look at that, the business model, the kind of business the taxpayer is doing. It is something that we look at, business can survive, then I recommend to the Executive Chairman to either give extend maybe the period of payment so that the business can survive and be able to pay taxes in future and survive. Otherwise, you apply the law. Definitely, you look at the provision of the law so that you are not, because the Executive Chairman doesn't have the power to waive the taxes for anybody. It's only the president that can waive taxes. But he has the power to waive to apply. He has the discretionary power for the instrumental payments and also to waive the interest and penalty. And even at that, it has to be done in a way that is fair and is fair to the country, to revenue generation. So that, because the number of taxpayers want to take advantage of, we can have access to the chairman, we can apply, we can appeal to his emotions, in waiving the penalty. But you now need to put your feet down. If the business has made profit over the years, and this year is now asking for a waiver or instrumental, it's like taking advantage of other taxpayers that are meeting, that are complying. So you look at the compliance status of the taxpayer before you recommend to the Executive Chairman. My work is to advise the Executive Chairman, but at the same time you look at there are a number of taxpayers that want to take advantage of the system or take advantage of the tax law. You look at the tax law and at the same time you relate with the tax office. There are a couple of issues that taxpayers will have with technical matters with service, like they are not able to generate their TIN number, or somebody is trying to take advantage of them. We say don't do something before you get your TIN number or before we give you an assessment. Or if those issues come to the attention of the Executive Chairman or my office, I liaise with the office or talk to the relevant department in resolving the matter for the taxpayers. My office will work with other departments in checking the compliance status. If some taxpayers are meeting their compliance status from time to time, some are not meeting it up, then my office work with other relevant departments in ensuring that either enforcement is carried out or the compliance department is triggered to say what's the compliance status and how do you follow up with the taxpayers in meeting. One of the significant issues that came up is a known conglomerate in this country that had about 50 tax issues, court cases with the service. either against the service or the service against the conglomerate. So the president of the conglomerate and the chief operating officer came to the executive chairman and said they want a one-stop shop in resolving their tax issues, in resolving the court cases. So the executive chairman called me to the meeting and was handed over to me. And what I did is to call the relevant tax offices for the files and engage the relevant directors in those tax offices in resolving it. And gradually, after like 2 months, those tax issues were resolved. And from time to time, the office, the conglomerate has seen my office as the one-stop shop that can resolve their tax issues. And anytime they have issues with any tax office, they refer to my office first, then I will engage the tax office. In terms of technology, a couple of processes needs to be automated so that taxpayers will reduce human intervention from time to time. So we need to improve on the technology, and I know the current management has taken it upon themselves to improve on to increase the technology space, so that taxpayers will not have to engage human beings in trying to frustrate them or anything. So when you want to file your tax returns or you want to get your tax assessment, we expect that to be automated and will reduce human intervention to the barest minimum. So what I would say to taxpayer is, when you are filing, make sure you file correctly, because one of the issues that you can have with the tax office, if you file correctly, if your records are straight, there's nobody can come after you, even when your records are straight. But if you are not filing correctly, if your records are not straight, then definitely somebody will want to take advantage of you. So what I would say to taxpayers is to make sure that their compliance status is up to date. And when their compliance status is up to date, if anybody comes to them or want to work against them, they can raise the issue with the executive chairman. And of course, definitely there's nobody will want to take advantage of if your compliance status is fine. Most of our tax officers, of course, we agree that there are bad elements. We're all human beings, but I can say, with a sense of responsibility, that a number of our officers are experienced, they are professional, and they will not want to take advantage of you.
As 2025 dey waka go finish, we hail una taxpayers wey stand gidigba for Nigeria. Na una money build school, hospital, road, and give better chance for plenty people. Una dey make progress real. Now, as 2026 don show, new chapter don start. FIRS don change to Nigerian Revenue Service (NRS). Na better move wey go make tax matter easy, clear, and sharp. NRS go dey stronger, smarter, and ready to serve una well. Abeg, continue to pay your tax. Na so we go take build Nigeria together. Together we rise. Together we prosper.
Over now to Swateku for what's on the net.
Good day and welcome to What's on the Net. My name is Joyce Swateku. Swing_Peters is asking, my employer is deducting personal income tax, but I don't know my team. At Swing_Peters, you can as well ask your employer for your team or visit the nearest Joint Tax Board office or the Internal Revenue Service office of the state you work and retrieve your team. Yemi Ororinde is asking, good one, before I can praise you, kindly tell me if I am working in Port Harcourt and my family need my tax clearance in Lagos because I only have IRS tax clearance. Is it possible, or I have to have 36 states clearance? At Yemi Ororinde, so long as you work and live in Rivers State and by law on the first day of the year your residential address was in Port Harcourt and or you have spent more than 182 calendar days,
then your tax authority is the Rivers State Internal Revenue Service, and the tax clearance obtained in RIRS should suffice for usage in any state. Over to you, Laurie.
And that's a wrap on this episode of Tax File. I hope you are living with new knowledge and a better understanding of tax matters that affect your daily life. The conversation doesn't end here. Connect with us on social media and share your thoughts. We love hearing from you. I am Laurie Bala Hassan. Until next time, stay informed, stay responsible, and keep watching Tax File.